Part 9, Cries by the Riverbank. Forsaken? Oh? Upon emerging from the dense forest and crossing a valley scarred with bombed craters, the dilapidated town at the edge of the riverbank is soon visible. All kinds of buildings were built in concentric rings around a broken-down CPF, shrouded in mist. The structures sway in the haze like mirages in a desert. Desert. Their outlines impossible to discern clearly. This is a satellite city. The Kartaki radiation zone is across this river. Three vials of serum, 5 magazines and 7.62 millimeters, full power cartridges. I mix the AP and API bullets. Here you go, boss. Under the dim light, Zhang slowly brings the supply cart to a stop in front of Jajinka, carrying with him all the provisions she requested. Thanks. Jajinka sits atop a stack of wooden crates in the warehouse, meticulously cleaning her weapon and components with a rag in her hand. You won't end up getting court-martialed by Babylonia for giving me these supplies, will you? Surely not. We're short on people, not weapons. And our relationship with the government isn't that tense yet. They won't arrest me over something this minor. Jajinka raises an eyebrow, her expression complex, as she resumes reassembling her weapon. During the years I've been gone, has the world government been mistreating you at all? Mistreating? Not really. Babylonians have been fairly respectful toward us. Besides changing our flag and sending inspectors every now and then, they leave everything else to the Kartakians themselves. Nothing has changed. In other words, they left the Kartakian people stranded outside the radiation zone for years without offering any help at all. Well, nothing's easy these days. Zhang leans across the cart and sighs. Due to wartime restrictions, there's hardly any migration here. Sorry about that. That was my dad. If you hear my dad, he's talking on the phone with someone. So, we don't have much in the way of food or clothing, but we're not starving to death either. Just scraping by, you know? I used to daydream about traveling back to ancient times as a kid. With all our advanced technologies, why would I say technology? I thought we could surely change the past and usher humanity into the golden age early. What? Were you planning to air trot 10,000 scouts to Sun Emperor so he could strangle the punishing virus in its crib? What I mean is, it wasn't until I actually started rebuilding with absolutely nothing that I realized how naive these fantasies were. We have land, but no seeds. We have tractors and separators, but they're all piled up here as useless scrap metal because we can't get our hands on any oil and fuel. He glances toward the inside the warehouse. No one's farming, mining rare earth minerals, smelting metal, making rivets. Modern industries like a net. The entire system consists of one strand breaks. It's only now that I realize how complex and precious our once ordinary modern lives truly were. Without resource exchange within a large collective, no small community can survive on its own. I even think that's the most terrifying thing about the punishing virus. It has destroyed the connections between people, stranded us on isolated islands, and erased the very foundations of civilization. Where did you pick up all this fancy talk? Look at you, so eloquent and sentimental now. The world is the harshest teacher you'll ever had. That's true. Oh my goodness. Zhang says with a smile, scratching his head. Now that I've taken your supplies, is there anything I can help you with in return? Oh, no need to trouble yourself, boss. We can handle the problems in the satellite city ourselves. You have your own matters to attend to, no? Indicates the letter. We all heard about your reputation over these years. Boss, the legendary ranger of the Forsaken. You must have other important business to attend to. What? She's the ranger of the Forsaken? Ooh, Watanabe. Please tell me she's playable. Okay, now I kind of want her to be playable. I want her to be playable. Please. Oh, I'm trying not to get my hopes up with an NPC right now, but because if you know if you've been reading all these chapters from PGR so far, we're almost up to chapters. They have I can't say, but if you know, you know. But I want her to be, you know. The Rangers are a small military group under the Forsaken. Its members, comprised mostly of elite constructs and exceptionally skilled humans, patrol the borders of infected areas to rescue refugees and guide them to oasis. This is who Jajika's nowadays. I received a letter from Nurbati a few days ago. She mentioned that the Great Diggle explosion might be connected to Margaret and descendants. I was sent here to investigate the matter. The radiation zone began to spread the moment I arrived. The ascendant? What did Nurbati say? We didn't get into details. The letter was full of riddles, so the commander was going to ignore her. But who's there? Detecting the nearly imperceptible footsteps behind her, Virginia suddenly spins around and reaches her. Long time no see. Virginia? Oh, it's the commander? A haggard, towering figure slowly emerges from the shadow. Commander Lee? How did you... Nothing people do escapes my notice. I'm creeped out, including, of course, the whereabouts of the freaking ring. The commander remains supposing his effort. The voice now fades away and where he weren't there before. I'm creeped out, and I also don't like it, so... My own instructor. You still talk like someone asking for a punch in the face. I'm glad, yes. I'm retired from that role now. As commander these days. Jajinko can still see that same bottomless arrogance when she looks into his eyes after all these years. Yeah, you could... I overheard what you were saying, Ranger. You got a mission complete. So when do you plan to leave? It depends on whether Kartaki still welcomes me. The situation here is more complicated than I expected. I need to get more intel first. Come with me, then. With hands clasped behind his back, he turns back and walks away, his polished leather shoes clicking rhythmically against the cement floor. Where are we going? You've been gone for a while. I thought you might like to reacquaint yourself with your hometown. I don't know why. I don't trust him right now, so... A thick mist hangs low, filling the air with the scent of damp earth. The gray sky presses down on the town and land below, creating a heavy, deathly stillness like a lead-filled coffin. The jingo trudged through the muddy streets, surrounded by buildings both familiar and foreign. Refugee tents stretched to the horizon, sprouting like fungi around rotting wood, encircling the already crumbling structures. Those with ration tickets, come this way! You get one ladle per person. Maintain order. Oh my god, not this one again. Refugees from all regions from a long queue in front of the large potted porch, most looking disheveled and devoid of hope. Some wear tattered clothes, while others are dressed in blood-stained military uniforms. Ugh, irk. This damn fog is driving me insane. Hang in there. We're running low on serum too. The serum doesn't work. Nothing works. Please, just saw it off. I can't bear the pain anymore. The locals are doing everything they can, offering what little they have to care for the refugees. But despair continues to spread under the fluence of red mist, consuming what little patience everyone has left. Virginia's brow furrows as she senses it. The city has been pushed beyond its breaking point. With this many refugees, your soldiers won't last 5 minutes if civil unrest breaks out, based on my experience. The Kartaki satellite city has exactly 2,832 residents, but in the past 24 hours, we've taken in over 2,000 refugees and ground soldiers. Damn! And almost simultaneously, the Great launched attacks from both the east and south. We pushed them back, but at a tremendous cost. Just holding the outer defenses is stretching us to the limit with our current forces. With the enemy at our gates, I can't spare more guys to watch these people. I have no choice but to place my utmost trust in them. I'd rather die by the hand of a human than be torn apart by these mindless machines. Oh my... He brushes dust from his coat as he lays out his realistic assessment. Are your production lines sufficient to sustain 4,000 people? Resource conflicts will eventually put everyone trapped in here. You won't need to wait for the machine to find you then. Heh, your assessment is correct, and even without eternal strife, the The red mist will devour us sooner or later. Let's find it mustering our forces to fight our way out and to break through the corrupt encirclement. Trying to orchestrate a mass exodus of 4,000 people right under the noise of the punishing virus. Not noise, I meant nose. Do you even have 400 soldiers? Who do you think you are? Spartacus? When it comes to disaster relief and rescue operations, the Rangers have far more experience than I do. He stops in his tracks and turns to Jajinka. Everyone in our team has a different role. Do I strike you as the one who babysits? Jajinka, it's not just the Babylonians who are trapped in the city. The 3,000 Carthaginians are your people too. I belong to this Forsaken. This isn't my home. At least, not anymore, sir. Yeah, okay. I think she's acting like a senator, but she still cares about her people. You know, the Carthaginians. It used to be her home, so if we succeed, it will at least provide proof that Oasis is more dependable than Babylonia in times of crisis. Oof! Ouch! Okay, yes. Once the seeds of trust are planted, I guarantee that whenever the Forsaken needs assistance, Carthaginian will be ready to bloom for you. How does that sound? Jajika clicks her tongue, her lord, as she curls her strand of hair around her finger. I have other matters to attend to. I need to find Mark. Suddenly, a piercing explosion shatters the air. The crowd freezes, their confused gazes toward the southern gate. From the direction of the gunfire, countless angry voices erupt into a chaotic uproar, growing more intense by the second. In an instant, Jajinka and Commander Lee exchange glances, got their weapons, and rushed toward the commotion. Cold winds swirl around the crumbling watchtower where a massive crowd has gathered. Their shouting rises like crashing waves against the soldiers' defensive line. Get back! Anyone who crosses this checkpoint is a deserter. I have the authority to execute on the spot. The soldier at the front line shouts until his voice grows hoarse. Sweat slides down the edge of his steel helmet, dripping onto his white knuckled finger resting on the trigger guard. You run a mess here. She's been burning with fever for almost 3 days. Without attempting the shot, she'll die. The man leading in the crowd carries an unconscious young girl in his arms. Like a maddened bull, he charges against the grim wall of people before him. The outside is crowd corrupted. We risked everyone thing to save you ungrateful bastards. Less than half of us made it back alive. Damn! Oh my god, this... Seemingly overcome with emotion, the soldier suddenly pulls the trigger, firing a shot into the sky. This is your final warning. Don't force me to shoot you. He takes a deep breath and points his weapon barrel at the crowd. Then before him, suddenly calls out. Two opposing parts have been experienced against him. Anger and confusion simultaneously edged across every face. At that moment, a dim, blissful cry from baby rises from the center of the crowd. Like a silver needle dropping the floor. Shatters all silence. Come on then, do it. Kill us all if you got the guts. Fire! At that very moment, a figure darts forward, positioning herself between the two opposing groups. Easy, soldier. Just as the guard is about to pull the trigger, Jinko precisely slips her hand between his palm and the weapon. In one fluid motion, treating his magazine inside top of a click before gripping the barrel with a sharp twist and pulling. The crisp metallic scrape, the soldier's weapon falls apart like a set of building blocks. The entire sequence takes less than a blink of an eye. Under the stunned gaze of both sides, Jajinka slowly opens her right hand, letting the barrel clatter to the ground. Control yourself. Point your gun at enemies. Point your gun at enemies, not your own people. Who the hell are you? A Carthaginian who left home. She turns around, looking at the young girl in the refugee's arms. How old is she? Just turned 16. She isn't sure when it started. Whenever she sees children this age, she cannot help but think of her younger self, or certain people, and certain moments from her past. Jajinka steadily touches the girl's cheek, feeling the scorching heat against her fingertips as if touching a stone pulled from fire. Her brow furrows slightly. These moves are yours. I've never seen you before. Where did you come from? Drop your weapons, submit to inspection. That won't be necessary. She's one of us. An authoritative voice emerges from deep within the crowd. Recognizing the newcomer's identity, the crowd instantly parts to create a path. Commander? Was she? Commander Lee raises his hand, slightly cutting the soldier's protest short. You're one of us now, aren't you, Jajinka? If you heard of the Rangers' exploits, You surely know my services don't come cheap, sir. Tajinga surveys the only scorching across every face in the crowd, exhales deeply, and tucks their brushes uttered into the deepest part of her backpack. When it's time to settle up, you might have to sell that fancy car of yours. Whatever it takes. Looking at you be so generous now. In that case, I want the one that has the turbo up front and shoots fire out the back. Commander Lee silently removes the seat, cut out keys from his belt, and tosses them to Jinka. Which one is it? He shrugs and gives a light chuckle. They're all yours now. Oh my god. Jeez, that's... Oh my god. I don't have any words. Oh my god.